This is Mark Evans, and you're listening to Marketing Spark. You launch new features, you invest in product, you ship improvements your team is proud of, and then not much happens. Users don't adopt them, engagement stays flat, and you're left wondering where the disconnect is. Karel Papik has built a company around solving that problem. He's the co-founder and CEO of ProductFruits, a prod-based platform that helps SaaS companies turn new users into active, engaged ones without writing code. In this conversation, we'll talk about why adoption breaks down, what companies miss after the product is built, and how to close the gap between what you ship and what users actually use. Karel, welcome to Marketing Spark.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
So let's set the stage for people who aren't familiar with ProductFruits. What problem were you and your co-founder staring at when you decided that this company was worth building?
ProductFruits supercharges your product with some team of AI agents which support users in every stage. For example, from the first onboarding, and then helping with any workflow, adoption, and so on. Every user will get the help in the right moment. We have some discovery agent and onboarding agent. We do a lot of engagement in the application, feedback loop, and so on. We are kind of interface between any user and any application.
The topic that we're exploring today is that there seems to be a disconnect between how quickly companies can launch applications and solutions and how easily it is for users to adopt them. This is being exacerbated by the fact that AI has made product development easier than ever. You're in the business of adoption. What are you seeing on the ground? When you talk to your clients, when you look at the SaaS landscape, is one of the biggest challenges that companies are shipping faster than users can absorb? Is there a tsunami of features coming at users and they just don't have the time or patience or ability to adopt them?
I think the problem is not in the pace, but in the quality of the new features and new platforms and new applications which are being shipped. It's also kind of affecting us. Let's assume we are in a city or in a town with a lot of restaurants, right? There are zillions of good restaurants, but then these restaurants are starting to serve food which has not good nutrition and questionable hygiene. And then people are stopping to eat in the restaurants, even in the good restaurants. That's something what I see on the market now. People are fed up by applications which are not actually bringing any values or features which are not bringing any measurable, actionable value. It's just AI. Everybody's pushing AI, try this AI, try that AI. But the question is if the value is really there. The stickiness and the retention of AI tools and platforms is actually significantly lower than traditional B2B SaaS. I think it's 40% yearly, typical median annually retention, 40%. And in B2B SaaS, it's 90%. We are talking about numbers which are more like for B2C SaaS. So it's not really good. I don't know, Lovable, for example. I love Lovable. You know this platform for sure. And I read recently that they have 85% retention in the day 30. And I believe that. But I would be curious to know what is their retention after 9 months. And I think maybe the numbers won't be that great.
Are you suggesting that choice is a bad thing because people look at AI as candy? It's good in the short term. It gives you that sugar high. It allows you to embrace something new and sexy, but they don't have much staying power because there's another AI product coming over the horizon that's even sexier and sweeter, if you want to carry on the candy analogy.
I think the problem is that most AI tools are not delivering. The value is simply not there. So let me use a different example. 2 years ago, I was getting 2-3 cold emails daily offering me some IT services or audit of our website and stuff like this. And I was ignoring them. Now I'm not getting 2 or 3 daily, but 6, 7, even when my spam filter is working. So I'm getting more, and they are personalized by AI, which means basically, oh, I read your last post on LinkedIn about the cat. It was so inspiring. Can we offer you some IT services? I see it's not personalized. It's a bullshit. It's actually annoying me quite a lot. And I'm not responding to this. But now it's a cold mail with AI, but the value is still not there.
If you read through the LinkedIn newsfeed, a common theme these days is that sales cycles are getting longer. And a lot of companies are frustrated because prospects will enter the pipeline, they'll have conversations, they'll do a demo, and then they stop for no apparent reason. One of the theories is that there's so much confusion in the marketplace. There's so many options. There's uncertainty about the value of the features that the easiest thing for a company to do is do nothing, is to stick to the status quo. The software that they're using may not be perfect. It may be far from ideal, but there's risk in terms of switching to something new, and companies don't like risk. So instead of trying something new, and then you later turn out you made a mistake, they do nothing. And that may be the biggest problem in SaaS these days.
That's definitely correct. And a lot of companies and people, the companies, they believe that now we are on the edge of some big tectonic change, and they are afraid that they might not be relevant for the future. They are scared that their product, company they are working in, and themselves, they may not be relevant for the future. But still, they don't know how the future will look like. So they are trying to use or try some solutions and platforms and tools. And then they are hesitating. Is this the cure for the future? Will this too be relevant 2 years from now? Because we don't want to switch to something different, right? So that's why I believe, at least what we are doing, is that we are still offering the classic analog digital adoption tools, like the step-by-step tours, which are getting you in the product, or hints, video feedback, stuff like this. And we are offering set of new AI tools, which works really well, but we are not forcing companies to try them. But I see that they are buying ProductFruits licenses quite a lot from one reason. They see that with us, they are on the trajectory to the future, because we are the most advanced AI digital adoption platform, or I would say product experience platform now on the market. So not necessarily, they don't need the answer like, if the product as it is now is the answer for my future needs, but they are happy that this, as they are on this trajectory.
We've talked about the tsunami of competitive options, and I want to switch the conversation to onboarding. So you spend a lot of money in product development, you pound away in terms of cold outreach and social media and conferences, and you finally get people to buy your product. The problem, however, is getting users to embrace the product, to adopt it, to explore a lot of the features. Do you see that as a major problem for many of these AI companies? Why is that happening? What's stopping users from buying a product and getting value from it?
What is the biggest problem with AI application now? The adoption. The adoption is as big as we hope it will be.
So why is that?
Problem. And we are doing the adoption. There are some fundamental roadblock with adopting of AI. I would say that the biggest problem is uncertainty, right? Because it's not deterministic. If it's deterministic, features like calculator, 1 + 1 is always 2, unlike with AI, which is kind of fuzzy, right? So that's a mindset shift you have to make, and you have to be ready for iteration and stuff. So that's one thing. Big companies are afraid that they don't know for 100% which output the AI will give. Another problem is, for example, even the pricing, right? The pricing, we are selling the product yearly licenses or sometimes monthly licenses. And what we tried in the past, 6 months ago or 8, we tried to charge by the resolution. So when we help the user with something, we charge the company. It seems to be a great concept, very fair. We are not charging anything if we are not helping. But it didn't work, because simply the people from companies, they told us, yeah, I get it. It's very fair, but I need some number, which I will take this number and I will ask our procurement if they approve this, if they can approve this in my budget. So they need a number, right? So now we are like offering yearly and monthly tariff, and to AI providers, we have to pay for the resolution and stuff. So the risk is on our side. So that's another risk. Another one is the black box. You really want to know what the AI will do. You really don't want to have just some black box which is doing something magical and you don't see it. So you need to have a lot of processes, how you will communicate with your AI. And in ProductFruits, we are actually spending quite a lot of resources to help you keep your AI on the short leash, right? It's about governance, policies, and this.
Just turning our sites to AI and ProductFruits, you've got something called Elven AI that automates personalized onboarding. Walk me through that thinking. What problem were you solving that your existing problem couldn't?
We started a digital adoption platform, right? So the main tool was this step-by-step tools. You started some application and the application told you, if you want to start, do this, click here, do that, fill this, and so on. Product tours, right? And now we are more in something what I am calling product experience platform, because when AI came, we had finally the option to do the stuff which we always dreamt about, right? It's a big change how to approach onboarding and adoption and everything, because in the old world, the world of product tours, every application tried to own the onboarding. It told user, start here, do this, do that. And I don't think people want this. We want to own our onboarding. It's up to me what I will do. I just need some assistance from here and there, but it's up to me. So don't push me to do this, do that. I'm not in a school. I hate being in a school. And AI helping us to have a conversation with the client, with the user, not just pushing in some information.
What you're saying is that different users have different use cases. They use a solution or a product in ways that meet their own needs. And so the one size fits all approach to onboarding doesn't work, because in some cases it might be too simplistic. In other cases, it might be irrelevant to what I'm looking to do. So if I understand it correctly, a new user can personalize their own journey. They can onboard onto a product in the way that they want to, and that the onboarding platform is intelligent enough to go, oh, I know what you want to do. Here's how we can take you on that journey.
In ProductFruits, you can utilize or you can use agent, which at the start of the experience has some discussion with the new client. And based on this discussion, it's like discovery call. He will ask you, what is your use case, what you are looking for, if you have experience with some similar platform, in which department you are working, and so on. And so during this short discussion, there's an exchange of information. And based on this, another agent, like onboarding agent, is tailoring the experience in the application based on the outcomes from these discovery calls. By the way, when we are using all this information from the discovery calls, from the support agent, and so on, then we are generating something what we are calling outcome. So you're like admin, not like a user, but like admin of application. You can ask, where are my users struggling the most? What is their biggest issue? What they dislike, they hate? And we are checking all this information, and we are able to give you really great information, and you can iterate your product.
You're in a marketplace where you compete against companies like Pendo and WalkMe and UserPilot and AppQs. These are well-funded, well-known platforms. The question, and this is something that every early stage entrepreneur wants to know, is how do you compete as a smaller, leaner player? And where do you win deals? How do you win deals? What gives you that competitive edge from a marketing or sales or customer success perspective?
We are a company of 26 people now, and we are selling worldwide. Our biggest market is actually US. Our edge is the AI. We are the most AI advanced platform, like product experience platform in the world, and it's really delivering. People are spreading this information, so it helps us a lot because a lot of AI features are not delivering. Our AI is really delivering. It's tangible. It works. It's great. And if you are not ready for this, you can still use the old world. So that's our edge. Even new customers which are subscribing for our application, even if they choose to use more our, I would say, these analog like tools, they like that with us, they will always be on the AI trajectory, and we will always tailor our platform for the future. So that's our edge. They have problem to change the course. They are trying. I can see it, but it's slow. We can be much more agile.
You're a smaller player. What do you do from a marketing and sales perspective? Specifically, how do you raise brand awareness? How are you driving sales? I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned when a smaller company can successfully take on bigger competitors. What's been the key to your success from a sales and marketing perspective?
Our marketing department, which is Dan and Lucas, we are running some people, doing some content. We are not really attending any events because we just don't want to. I would like to go there, but I can't because I don't want to. So now we are with these podcasts. Our guys are pushing me to do something, but this is like number 3 podcast in my life. So it's quite a new thing for me. In lead gen, there is no like silver bullet. You can do content, you can do direct sale, you can do PPCs, maybe some event. There is nothing like specially unique what you can do. So it's a standard stuff, but we are the typical company, which is, I would say, more technically oriented, product oriented. So we are trying marketing as easy as it is. And we are focusing on the product because that's our only chance to be better in a product than the others, because we can't be better in the marketing because we don't have funds for that.
You can build a better mousetrap, but if no one knows your mousetrap exists, then
I know
that doesn't matter. The question I'm asking is, if you are growing, what's driving growth? Is it referrals? Is it word of mouth? When you look at your numbers or you look at your business plan, what would you tell investors in terms of this is why we're growing?
It's a really standard mix of PPCs, of content. Of course, we did some changes. Like when we started, we did a lot of PLG stuff in the application. And then we saw at the start, I think we started to sell 4 years ago. And we had conversion in free trial. We have in every given moment about 300 companies in free trial, approximately. And we have been converting like 22, 23% of these companies to the paying customers, which was quite a lot.
That's massive.
Now we are below 15%, but the accounts are much bigger now, right? And we had to make some change. We had to start to build the sales department. That we built it for the second time, the sales department. And then for the third time, now it's really working, I think. So now it's also to some extent, I would say, sales-led, but still we are not doing any outbound. Everything is 100% inbound, but our sales guys must be able to explain the value of ProductFruits, because what we typically see, and I think this is very common for a lot of other applications, is that clients are asking us, I would say, are you selling potato? I would like to buy some potatoes. And we are saying, yeah, we do sell potatoes, but actually maybe you are not just need potato. What's your plan? What do you need? And they are saying, oh, we would like to do some soup, to make some soup, right? So, okay, but for the soup, you need not just potatoes, you need mushrooms, you need some meat, you need some spice and so on. And maybe at the end of the day, you don't need the potatoes at all. So typically when they are arriving at our application, they are amazed about all the possibilities which we have. So now our sales department is much more crucial part of our puzzle than it used to be. And also we are doing a lot of upsells because we have 1,300 companies, and now we are upselling them with the AI solutions.
Building a SaaS company from Prague in a market dominated by US players, how does geography shape your strategy, your hiring, your go-to-market thinking? Is it something that you think about? Is it top of mind? Or is it irrelevant simply because you've got a great product and it doesn't matter where you're based?
We have great product. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are doing the sales in the way we do, we are not attending any events and stuff. physically, so we don't need to be in the US. I actually do know US quite a lot. I believe I operated on this market 15 years. My background is in video games, and I was developing shitloads of games for US market, and a lot of games are actually based on the US TV franchise like Criminal Minds or Castle, and I was selling on the US market online. But now we are selling worldwide. We are selling to Australia, Singapore, South Africa, you name it, Germany. So we are trying to be really focused like on worldwide territory.
Well, let's talk about fundraising because you've raised 1.6 million euros in seed funding.
We raised $4.5 million.
Now you're in the process of looking for a larger round.
We are looking at all possibilities. So maybe this is one of the options. We are profitable now, so nothing is really pushing us. We have money on the account, so we are not struggling with runway or anything. So that's a pretty good situation to be in.
When you have leverage, it's good to be when you're really dealing with investors. If you had one bold prediction about where user onboarding and digital adoption is headed over the next 2 to 3 years, something that most people in the category aren't saying yet, what would it be?
At the end of the day, AI will take everything from us sooner or later, probably later, one day. We will not have jobs and we will not have purpose. And if we will not have purpose, we will have no meaning. And it's a pretty grim forecast. But we have to do it. We have to play with AI. I don't know if you ever played the game Portal from Steam, the game Portal. They say there's scientists, which is, by the way, AI, which is funny. They are saying we do what we must because we can. This is it. It's too tempting not to try to create a God when you can. So we are trying to destroy ourselves, the humanity and everything, just because we can. But the right side is that in the next 20 years, we will definitely benefit from this, right? The bad times will come later. So if you are looking at the short term, I would be hesitating to do some prediction, but my feeling is that I don't believe much in this headless application where the agents will just roam around and do everything on their own. I think this is not correct. It's naive because people need control and governance and iteration. And then if you need this, you need some interface, right? So this headless application, I don't believe it's such a big thing as some people think. I'm also not sure about the AI only because smart people like their job. If you love your job or at least like it, at least don't hate it, like myself, I like it. I want to be productive. I want to be useful. And I enjoy working with 3 different AI in any given moment. If it's helping me to generate better output and be faster, be smarter maybe. But I really don't see any meaning to be replaced by AI. So that's also how we are selling the AI. We see it more like in the next years, more in cooperation with human, not just replacing them.
When you look at some of the big onboarding trends and digital adoption, what's over the horizon? What do you got? What are you focused on these days?
Even now, we are far beyond the onboarding. It's just fragment of what we do. I would say it's more about the experience and adoption and everything. And what we want to build is to have, like, you can imagine like an invisible guy, invisible body, which is always sitting next to you and helping you with your work. Not just helping you with the application, like where you should click, but he also on the knowledge in the area. So he's helping you with everything. So that's the way how I see the future, having some invisible body and very patient, very friendly, like your GPT, very specialized in the area you are currently working in.
Great conversation. Where can people learn more about you and ProductFruits?
LinkedIn, our website, common stuff.
Thanks, Karel, and thanks to everyone for listening to another episode of Marketing Spark. If you found this conversation valuable, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Drop a quick rating and share it on social media. If you're a B2B or SaaS CEO struggling with stalled growth and frustrated with marketing, we should talk. You can reach me by email, mark@markevans.ca, connect with me on LinkedIn, or visit marketingspark.co. I'll talk to you next time.